I was there the morning the sun vanished. Not just hidden by clouds, not eclipsed by the moon. It vanished. One moment, golden light flooded every window of Earth. And the next, there was only darkness. No fire, no shadow, no warmth. The world didn't fade into night. It was torn from it. The clocks didn't stop, but time itself felt broken. Even now, years later, I can still remember the sound. A silence so deep, it roared inside my chest. That was the day humanity met the beginning of the end. And I, a man who spent his life studying light, became one of the last witnesses to its fall. They called it Project ECLIPSE. I called it madness. When I joined, it was supposed to be humanity's greatest leap. An experiment to harness solar energy directly from the fusion layer of the sun using quantum tethers. The idea was simple: capture, contain, and redirect power straight from the source. Infinite clean energy, no more fossil fuels, no more wars over power grids. But we went too far. The first test was perfect. At least that's what they told us. I remember standing in the control dome, looking at that perfect golden sphere through layers of protective shielding. The scientists were celebrating. Humanity had just touched the sun. But something in my gut twisted. It wasn't pride. It was fear. A few days later, the readings began to shift. The sun's surface started pulsing irregularly. Patterns of light that didn't belong there began to ripple across its face. Like code, like messages. And then came the sound. Every receiver across the solar network picked it up. A low hum, buried beneath radiation, not random noise. A structure, rhythmic, intentional. It was speaking. We thought it was interference. Then the pulses aligned perfectly with the tether's frequency, as if the sun was answering us. But to what question? We shut down the array, too late. The tether didn't deactivate. It evolved. It began drawing something else. Energy that wasn't solar. Energy that didn't belong in our universe. I remember running diagnostics in the dark, the power flickering, the lights dimming around me as if something massive was feeding off them. The sky outside was already changing, a shimmer in the air, a ripple like heat over the horizon, except the air was freezing cold. Then it happened. The sun went out, not a flare, not an explosion, just gone, a clean, silent erasure. We expected fire and chaos, but what we got was calm, unnatural calm. The stars were visible even at noon. No light, but somehow we could still see faint silhouettes of things that shouldn't exist, like shadows that belong to other worlds. Earth's temperature dropped instantly. Within hours, cities began to freeze. The world governments went silent. All communication broke down. Satellites fell like snowflakes from orbit. And we, the Project ECLIPSE team, were trapped underground, beneath the Arctic, staring at our own creation, pulsing in the core of the lab, a sphere of captured light that hadn't dimmed when the sun died. It floated, silent, suspended in the containment chamber, and inside it, something moved. We studied it for days as the world above froze. The object pulsed like a heartbeat, faint but alive, and every hour its light dimmed slightly, as though it was feeding something beyond the visible spectrum. The containment readings went wild. Impossible numbers, negative temperatures, and bursts of gamma spikes shaped like voices. It was then I began to dream. At first, I thought they were nightmares. Burning landscapes, oceans of glass, and a figure standing where the sun should be. It spoke to me, though I could never hear words, only meaning. It told me humanity had touched something it was never meant to see. It told me we hadn't created the eclipse. We had awakened it. The others began to hear it too. Some claimed it wasn't the sun that vanished. It was taken. We tried to destroy the sphere. Nothing worked. Missiles, plasma bursts, even the old orbital cannons. Everything dissolved before touching it. It was as if the universe refused to allow its destruction. On the seventh day, a faint glow returned to the sky. But it wasn't sunlight. It was a new light, colder, cleaner, and wrong. Shadows fell the wrong way. Time flickered like a bad signal. People began to vanish. Slowly, like fog under wind. We realized the light wasn't returning the world. It was rewriting it. The last log I made was on day 9. By then, half the team had gone missing. The sphere was expanding, and the whispers had become voices in every speaker, every frequency. They didn't say much. Just one phrase, repeated endlessly. Return the light. Return what was never yours. When I woke up, the lab was empty. The containment chamber was gone. And through the observation dome, the sky burned with shapes. Vast silhouettes moving beyond the dark, like titans stirring beneath the skin of the cosmos. I think we opened a door. I think something came through, and I think the sun was never a star at all. It was a seal. Now as I sit here, the world frozen and silent, I feel the hum again. It's not coming from the sphere anymore. It's coming from me, and every time I blink, I see the light waiting, patient, watching, remembering the ones who dared to wake it. Humanity thought it reached for the sun. But maybe the sun had been reaching for us all along.